These are the attitudes which have got me to where I am today in my professional and my personal life. I'm not talking about cloud, Kubernetes, SRE, and all of that stuff. Once you have these attitudes in place, those skills will come naturally. It's not just the Nike ad, it's a way of living life. So the most liked comment on this video, I will do a one-on-one 30-minute session with him or her. But these success attitudes, I have seen them relevant for the past 24 years that I've been working, and I'm very confident they are going to be relevant for the next 25 years as well. Hello girls and boys, how's it going? In this video, we will break down 5 attitudes that can help you earn in crores. I can personally vouch for these attitudes, having lived them almost every single day. These are the attitudes which have got me to where I am today in my professional and my personal life. I will talk about how you can build these attitudes for yourself. Now, I'm purposely not talking about skills in this video. I'm not talking about cloud, Kubernetes, SRE, and all of that stuff. And the reason is, once you have these attitudes in place, those skills will come naturally. And the problem with skills is, what's relevant today in 2024 may or may not be relevant in 2025, and so on and so forth. But these success attitudes, I have seen them relevant for the past 24 years that I've been working, and I'm very confident they are going to be relevant for the next 25 years. So focus on learning and developing these attitudes for yourself, and you earn big bucks. Along with the money, the other successes in life as well. Now, before we start this video, I have some announcements to make. So the most liked comment on this video, I will do a one-on-one 30-minute session with him or her. And the comment goal for this video is 200 comments. So put on your comments, get some quirky, likable comments, and let's see who gets the most liked comment, and I will spend some one-on-one time with you. If you're new here, my name is Savinder Puri, and I've been in the software industry, build, release, DevOps for about 20 plus years, having worked across UK, Europe, India, South Africa, and so on. I'm currently working as Associate VP, DevSecOps, and SRE, industry leading SI. You can connect with me on LinkedIn to know more about my details. So strap on your seatbelts, let's get started. Attitude number 1, let's do it. It's not just the Nike ad, it's a way of living life. What do I mean by that? Whenever you're thrown a challenge, whenever you're thrown a problem, the default mindset has to be, let's solve this, let's do it. It cannot be, hey, this is too tough, I don't know how I'll do it, I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not, I don't have the skills, I don't have the time to do this is too tough for me, this is above my pay grade. All of that is negative thinking. The right way to think about it is, great, I have a problem, let me do what I can to solve this problem. I might not be able to solve it 100%, but let me keep moving forward. I'll give you a story on this. Several years ago, one morning, my boss called me to his office and said that, hey, you know what? Next week, there is a workshop for DevOps for mainframe in South Africa for one of our customers, and you are going to lead that workshop. It's a 3-hour workshop where the mainframe architects from the customer will be sitting with you, and you have to conduct that workshop. The moment I heard that, I was like, sir, par mujhe mainframe nahi aata. And my boss, my mentor, sat me down. He said, what is the workshop about? It is about DevOps for mainframe. What do you have to talk about? DevOps. Do you know DevOps? Yes. Is the about mainframe? Not really. Who knows mainframe? They know. What do they want to know about DevOps? Go ahead and teach them. And what ended up happening was that the workshop was on a Tuesday morning. I reached South Africa Friday night. Saturday, Sunday, entire 48 hours, we got our mainframe team into the hotel. We sat there for 48 hours straight. They prepped me on what the heck is a mainframe, how do you work on it, what are the internals of it. And then on Sunday, we got together to marrying DevOps and mainframe together. I prepped a little more on Monday. Tuesday, I did the 3-hour workshop. It was a good success. What I'm trying to say is, let's do it attitude. Now, how do you develop that attitude? If you've seen the Jim Carrey movie, Yes Man.
Carl, I'm a yes man. Wow.
Yes! Yes!
No.
You say no to life, and therefore you're not living. Every time an opportunity presents itself,
Anything that comes up to you, default answer is, let's do it. Don't be a naysayer, but be smart about doing this work. Use your creativity, use your talent, use the resources available to you, and then approach it incrementally. Like they say, अगर कुछ करोगे तो कुछ तो होगा, कुछ ना होगा तो तजुर्बा होगा. Attitude number 2. Look for mentors. Especially if you are in the early stage of your career, it is very, very important to have a good mentor in your life. Now, this mentor can be from your current organization, can be from your past organization, it could be a relative, it could be a friend who's not working in your organization, it could even be a colleague or a junior. It doesn't matter. But they should know some things that you don't know and you seek or aspire to get. That's the definition of a mentor. Now, why do you need a mentor? To be able to train you, coach you on how to succeed, firstly at your job. Because there are a lot of things that go on to making a successful career, which is way beyond deploying Kubernetes clusters at scale and auto scaling on. These are super important, but these are skills that you can do a course on. These are skills that you can read the documentation, you can watch YouTube videos, but you don't get on YouTube videos is what does it need to be successful in your role in your organization. That needs context and it cannot be generically available. So you need a mentor to be able to guide you. And as you grow in your career, you need a mentor to be able to show your blind spots. What's a blind spot? You don't know what you don't know. Like when you're driving a car, the back corner there is a blind spot at some times. Because when a speeding vehicle is coming, if you don't see the back mirror, you miss it. So the role of a mentor as you grow in your career is to tell you your blind spots, is to tell you that, hey, you know what, you're technically very good, थोड़ा सा arrogantly बोलता है, थोड़ा सा team dealing में थोड़ा सा ध्यान से, you're rubbing off people the wrong way. When you talk to people, you're not very confident. You're not putting across, you're not speaking enough in meetings. Things like that, only a mentor will be able to tell you. One thing to watch out, if you've been in your career for 5, 7, 10 years, your mentors should also change. Why I say that is as you evolve in your life, as you grow, you need different mentors. And like they say, the moment the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So if you have a mentor, but if you have the same mentor for the last 5 years, either you are not growing or your mentor is not growing. Check. My personal story. So several years back, my boss in an organization, he decided to move on to another organization. He resigned. My boss's position was vacant and it remained vacant for about 4 or 5 months. Nobody was getting in, right? Due to whatever reason. And I was pretty much doing everything that my boss was doing because that position was vacant and I was a senior guy. And one day, one of my friends, a senior guy, he came up to me and he said, Savinder, you're already doing whatever it takes to get to the next position. Why don't you go to senior management and stake your claim to that position? I had not even thought about it. And when this guy said, it was a eureka moment. He was like, हाँ यार बात तो सही कर रहा है. I'm already doing all of that. Why not put my stake there? I went up to senior management, was promoted in the next couple of months, and that completely changed the trajectory of my career. What I'm trying to say is, be open to listen to people and seek active mentorship. How do you develop this attitude? Now, you cannot just ask for mentorship. You have to earn the mentorship. What do I mean? Let's say there is a person in your organization who's your senior person and you really like that person because of his or her attitude. You can't just go up and say, hey, can you please be my mentor? It doesn't work that way. What do you have to do? You have to do certain things that the mentor will notice you and pick you up as a mentee. What do I mean? Let's say you're having a conversation, you're sitting in the office canteen, if at all that exists today. But let's say you're in an office environment and you see that guy sitting alone or having coffee. You go walk up, strike a conversation. Try to be around that mentor. And let's say in one of the conversation, he or she mentions about a book that he or she read, or a YouTube video or a TEDx video that he or she saw and the impact it had on her. What do? You buy that book, go see that video. And next time when you meet that mentor, find an excuse to get in front of him or her and say, hey, you know what? I remember you talking about that book, that talk. I've started watching. And then 2 days, 4 days, a week later, you go in front of them again and say, hey, you know what? I started watching it. I started reading the books. These are the 3 things that were awesome. What did you find most interesting in them? You are telling them that you are listening to them and you are actually doing what they didn't even ask you to do. That's how you prove yourself worthy to a mentor. And hopefully they will pick you up and they will tell you 2 things to do. You go do that. Then another one. Then you can sit down and say, hey, you know what? I have this problem at office. I have this problem at home. How do I solve it? Attitude number 3. Always be tech relevant. What do I mean by that? No matter what form or shape of technology you are in, do not lose the touch with core technology. Now, you might be not in hardcore technology, you might be a program manager, a project manager, whatever it is. But whatever technology means to you, be completely in touch with it. Be completely in touch with your core skill. You might acquire more skills along the way and that's perfectly okay. But in this age of AI, core technical skill is super important. I'll give you my story. About 15 years back, when I was moving out of an organization, one of my bosses called me and he said, hey Savinder, I might meet you 10 years, 15 years later. You might be director, CEO of a company, but I will ask you only one question. When did you create your last build? Why did he say that? Because at that time, I was a build engineer. I was creating software builds. Right? I was a DevOps engineer and that was my core fundamental skill. You have to define what does your build mean. What is your core fundamental skill and related to technology, and when did you do that last? How do you develop that attitude? Stay technical, use the just do it formula, and that's how you stay in touch with technology. Attitude number 4. This too shall pass. If you have a bad boss, this too shall pass. If you have a toxic work environment, this too shall pass. If you have awesome colleagues, this too shall pass. If you're making very good money, this too shall pass. No matter what you're doing or what is happening with you, nothing is permanent. This too shall pass. I'll give you my story. Once upon a time, one of the bosses that I had, he was very hostile towards me. Anything that I did was not good enough and I always got scolded. What did I do? I started checking, this special treatment is only for me or does he do this to other people also? And we realized that this guy had just come in from another organization. The new people that came in, he treated them well. The existing people in the organization, he didn't like any of us. It was a pattern. It was not specifically directed to me. After that, what did I do? I stopped seeking validation from him. I went out in the industry. I doubled down on my blogs, my conferences, my talks, my industry connects, and that is where I started doing a lot of work. It did 2 things for me. It pushed my industry image to a different level, gave me validation that whatever I was doing was relevant in the industry, not just the organization. How do you develop this attitude? First, you understand the pattern. This bad boss, is it only for you? Is it for everybody? The toxic environment, is it only for you? Is it for everybody? Once you do that, then you can isolate yourself from the problem and deal with it. And you stay strong. You work your way out. Moving out of an organization is always an easy, but how long will you move out? How many times? You have to figure out your way, fight through it, and to work your way out through problems. Because these kind of things can happen anywhere. The 5th thing, the power of detox. What do I mean by that? So in this age of too much of social media, once in a while we need to detox. And detox doesn't mean go to the mountains for a week. Not that. That also mini detoxes throughout the day. My story on how we do it, we are a no news house. which means we don't have active cable TV, we do not watch news on the TV, we do not get any newspaper in the house. We are a no news house. Other than a couple of websites that I consume, I do not actively read the news. If something happens, people come and tell. Power of little detox. Once in a while, we have a weekend detox box. What do? On a weekend, we put all our cell phones and our tablets in that box and put it on the dining table. And then you only pick the phone if you get a call. No WhatsApp, no social media, nothing for full 24 hours. We do that once in a while. It's a lot of fun. How do you develop this attitude? Figure out what works for you. Do the detox every single time during the day and then a bigger one once in a while. So these are the 5 attitudes that I want you to think about, to actively work towards. Now let me talk to you about some of the most frequently asked questions that I get, and let's see how they map to these attitudes. What should be my roadmap for? Blah, 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 right? I want to learn DevOps. I want to move into cloud. I am a third-year engineering student. What should be my roadmap to secure a job? Basically, what should be my roadmap for? Answered by, if you have a mentor, you can ask. If you have a just do it attitude, that can solve. I am unable to manage my studies and my prep for my exam, prep for my placement, my family and my social pressures. Let's do it mindset, and having a mentor can help you. How do I pivot my career into? I'm a QA engineer, I want to move into cloud. I'm a network guy, I want to move into DevOps. How do I do it? Being tech relevant and let's do it mentality will help you do it. There is too much stress at my workplace. How do I handle that? Being tech relevant and having a mentor can help you do that. I'm scared of AI. Will AI take away my job? How do I handle this? Being tech relevant, let's do it mindset, which will enable you to participate in AI workshops happening in your organization. You get the point. Any sort of problem that you're dealing with, one of these 5 or more attitudes can help you solve this. Hope this video made sense, and let me know in the comments what attitude you most resonated with, and let's talk about that. Remember, most liked comment, 1-to-1 personal interaction, 30 minutes with me, 200 comments is the goal. I'll see you in the next one.